for my kids, summer is officially upon us, starting in just 3 days. And if I'm being honest, I don't have much planned for my kids, and I'm feeling a lot of summer mom guilt about it. Maybe even a little bit of shame. When you start talking to all the other moms and you hear about what their kids are up to, yeah, that feeling. The one that whispers, am I doing enough? So whether you're the mom who has miraculously orchestrated the most wonderful jam-packed summer schedule for your kids, or you're on the opposite spectrum of, let's just see what happens, this episode is for you. We're diving into what modern summers have truly become, what it genuinely means for us moms, and how it makes us feel. And most importantly, how we can let go of that guilt that creeps up and reframe our expectations for a more peaceful, joyful summer. Hi, ladies. Welcome back to episode 18 of Not Just Moms, where we carve out some much needed time for ourselves to figure out who we are beyond mom, and or just to discuss our journey along motherhood. I'm your host, Stephanie No, your life and mindset coach and fellow mom who's navigating this crazy journey. Now, I don't know about you, but growing up, I never had a packed summer schedule. My summers were about roaming the neighborhood with friends, running errands with my mom, and maybe the occasional low-cost summer fun at our community center. For me, being fully booked in the summer just wasn't a thing. It was a time for freedom, for spontaneous play, and for simply being a neighborhood kid. But nowadays, it's quite a different story. I hear about the writing camps, robotic camps, science camps, specialized sports clinics, dance camp, cooking class, swim class, and the list goes on and on and on. And you know this. Honestly, just listening to it makes me feel so tired and exhausted. Then it makes me wonder, do our kids even like being this scheduled and structured? Aren't they tired? Can we please just normalize the 90s baby lifestyle? A summer where unstructured play was king, where boredom led to the most creative adventures, and where parental summer planning stress was a foreign concept? Just hear me out. Summer has become what feels like an overwhelming season of endless activities and pressure. It feels less like a break and more like a highly organized, expensive program. As a kid, I remember the pure excitement of summer break, right? Now for many parents, that excitement is quickly replaced by summer planning stress. There's this undeniable pressure on parents to keep kids constantly busy, constantly learning, and there's this constant fear of missing out if our kids aren't in perpetual motion. This isn't just about fun anymore. We live in an intense achievement culture. Summers are now seen as a prime time for specializing, building skills, and avoiding the dreaded summer slide. This pervasive fear that if kids aren't constantly engaged in structured learning, that they'll fall behind academically, directly pushes us to seek out every enrichment program, every summer tutor, even private coaching for specific skills. It's like a high-stakes race to the top, and we're terrified that our kids will be left in the dust if they just play. And let's not forget the social media comparison game. Our feeds are flooded with highlight reels of other families' perfect summer adventures, curated trips, exotic destinations, kids at their specialty camps, beautifully themed home projects. This just fuels the keeping up with the Joneses effect. Even beyond vacations, seeing perfectly organized craft tables or academic breakthroughs can make your simple backyard sprinkler or a day of neighborhood bike ride seem inadequate. My own childhood vacations were trips to Costco. And I genuinely loved tagging along with my mom. But you know what? I didn't have friends who were talking about going to Korea or Japan or Europe for the summer. I didn't know what I was missing then, and maybe that was a blessing. Then there's the elephant in the room: how expensive summer has become. I experienced total sticker shock looking at various camps this year. It's like shrinkflation for summer camps. What used to be a 9 to 3 p.m. full day program is now a 9 to 12 for the same price or more. I saw an art camp for $430 a week for 3 hours a day. Imagine that's over $1,500 a month for part time care for one child. Multiply that by 3 for me. For working parents, a 9 to 12 camp is a logistical nightmare. They're left scrambling for childcare, paying additional costs for longer hours just to complete their workday. Our school schedule and calendars are truly not designed for working families, leaving us moms often feeling like we're playing a losing game of Tetris with our schedules and our budgets. This intense pressure and constant planning leads to a multitude of burdens and challenges for moms nowadays. The mental load explosion. Honestly, when I think of summer, I kind of dread it. The invisible load we mothers carry just gets exponentially heavier. From researching camps, coordinating carpools, packing extra snacks, to simply planning meals for kids who are home all day, it's relentless. We're tracking deadlines, remembering obscure camp rules, labeling everything. While some partners are incredibly mindful, many often have no idea what goes into orchestrating the summer circus that we manage, leaving us feeling completely unseen and overwhelmed. And let's talk about the financial strain. The soaring cost of summer activities and camps isn't just an expense. It often means dipping into savings, cutting back on other essentials, or even going into debt. This leads to increased financial stress and less disposable income for other family needs or even our own financial well-being. It can feel like a constant balancing act, a choice between enrichment and financial stability, creating a new layer of mom stress and guilt. And there's the loss of personal time and space. Whether kids are home or at camp, it rarely makes life easier on mom. The school year provides a structured block for work, self-care, or even just quiet time. Now that structure is gone, I constantly hear the women around me say, I left work early for pickup, so I'll finish work tonight. This pushes work time late into evenings or early mornings, which interferes with precious solo downtime and significantly impacts our productivity, efficiency, and most importantly, our mental health. That rare hour for exercise, a quiet coffee, or even just an uninterrupted thought, often gone. Pressure to create memories. Have you ever heard that quote, you only have 18 summers with your child? Hearing this instantly triggers anxiety for me. This intense pressure to create unforgettable experiences or document every perfect moment or plan elaborate vacations often leads to the opposite outcome: exhaustion, frustration, and less connection. We're so focused on the performance of summer that we miss the simple joy of being together. So, what feelings are coming up for you when you think of summer? As I always say, we have to acknowledge how we're feeling first before we can figure out how we want to feel and move forward. These are some very common feelings that I hear moms discuss often, and I experience myself. Guilt and inadequacy. Just like my parents did their best giving me what I wanted and needed, I often question if I'm doing the same for my kids. When I hear that someone is going to a highly coveted writing camp, that little voice creeps in. You're not doing enough. You should have sent your kid there. Are you giving them what's best for them? It hits hard at our sufficiency and adequacy as a good mom. This mom guilt is a heavy burden, making us feel perpetually behind or less than. Overwhelm and exhaustion. Trying to be a magician, coordinating summer schedules, all the summer activities, the family trips, the play dates, I feel burnt out before summer even begins. The mental and physical fatigue from managing schedules, transportation, and constant demands quickly catches up, leading to true summer stress and mom burnout. It's like running a marathon before the starting gun even fires. Resentment. When I'm up late Googling camps, signing my kids up, and I look over to see my husband sound asleep, it's hard not to feel a bit of resentment rising. Why am I the only one doing this? Why is this all on me? Why can't he book a summer camp? And then a bigger resentment towards the societal pressure itself for creating this impossible standard. This is a very normal human feeling when the invisible load feels unbalanced, especially for us moms, which is like all the time, let's be honest. Longing for simplicity. Ultimately, this all just makes me miss the simpler times before rampant internet, Pinterest, and Instagram worthy posts. Just a simple, unstructured, go with the flow summer that offered genuine rest and connection, not just another set of tasks. So when you think of summer, what comes up for you? Do any of these feelings resonate? If so, take a moment to just sit with them. I want you to take a deep breath. It's okay to feel these feelings. Let's talk about how we can move through these feelings and start to let go and reframe our summer expectations. This is where our power of managing our minds truly comes in. So if you're experiencing that mom guilt, number one, let's acknowledge the source of the guilt. That guilt that you feel, it's often a learned response to intense societal pressure and the constant comparison trap. Recognize it for what it is, an external pressure. It's not an internal truth about your worth as a mom. Take it as a sign that you care deeply, but it doesn't have to define you. When the guilt creeps in, gently ask yourself, why am I feeling guilty? Whose expectation or standard am I trying to meet right now? Number two, challenge your shoulds. When you think that you should do something, are these truly something that you value, or are they from external pressures, such as social media, other parents, or even your own childhood conditioning? Actively challenge those thoughts. So when you want to say, I should send them to that writing camp, instead, ask yourself, what would be best for my child and myself and our family? Number three, define your family's enough. What does a nourishing and enjoyable summer look like for your family? Does it look structured and have activities and things scheduled? Or is it loose and open for adventures? Give yourself permission to decide what that means for you. 4, embrace the gift of unstructured time. Remember our 90s summers? Boredom is actually a superpower. It sparks creativity, problem solving, and independence in kids. Giving your children space to just figure things out, whether it's building forts, creating plays, or inventing games, it's an invaluable gift, not a failing. Number 5, ditch the comparison trap. Remind yourself, social media is a highlight reel and not real life. What you see online doesn't capture the full messy picture. And guess what? If that triggers you so much, give yourself permission to unfollow, mute, or consciously delete the app. Protect your mental space from what doesn't serve you. Your unique family story is the only one that matters. Number 6, prioritize your mental health. I know that we were talking about what is best for your child, but don't forget what is best for you. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you are running on empty, that is not beneficial for your family or your child. Make choices that protect your peace, and that will benefit your entire family. So do not neglect your well-being and mental health. Whatever you decide, own that decision. Be proud that you're defining your family's needs and wants instead of living from a place of what summer should look like. For me, I've decided that certain weeks will work for camp to give myself a little breathing room. And on days that they're not at camp, I'm going to enjoy the lazy days of summer and embrace and try to recreate the 90s childhood that I had. Remember, only you know best, and whatever you choose, I love that for you and your family. So I just want to let you know I see you, and I truly see all the invisible, mental, and grossly underpaid, aka free work that you are doing. You are the best mom, and you are doing a great job. I hope you get some breathing room this summer. Don't forget to prioritize your own mental health. You matter too. And here's a final quick tip. For some guilt-free screen time, turn on a show and change the audio to a different language. And tell yourself and your kids that they're learning a new language. Boom. You're welcome. Enjoy that 30 minutes of peace. As always, thanks for listening, and share this with a girlfriend who needs to hear this reminder. Let's start normalizing our kind of summer. Talk to you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.